Today's episode is centered on one powerful idea. Life is a repeating process, and every pattern we live out is tied to the way we think. If the thinking changes, the legacy can change too. This is not one of those surface level conversations where we just throw around words like growth, healing, or mindset and leave it there. We're talking about the real stuff, the patterns people inherit, the pain people normalize, the beliefs people never question, and the cycles that keep showing up in families, relationships, success, and identity. So today, we're asking, are these patterns passed down, or do we create them ourselves? Can legacy really change without confronting what shaped us? And what does it honestly take to stop repeating what no longer serves us? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Thought, where it's the home of the
realest conversation
with the
rawest insight.
Woohoo! What's up, everybody? Welcome back. What we got going on, man? You know.
TGIF. Man,
Thank
TGIF.
God that it's Friday, y'all. Thank God. All right, y'all. On the episode today, I got my co-host with me, Sticks in the house, and then I got a guest, to the left of me, Mr. L. Hogg. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, sir?
What's happening, world? Lawrence Hogg, owner of Fly Faster Fashion House here in Jefferson City, Missouri. We're located at 1127 East Dunklin. You into the vintage, you into the fly. I'll get you right. I see you fly, but you can fly faster. You feel me?
Yeah. You see, you peep it. You see, he got me looking good. This came off his showroom floor. You see what I'm saying? Fly faster up here in Jeff City, Missouri, y'all. Yes. All right, let's get into it with today's episode, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I read the quote, read the statement, and I'm gonna kick this question off. Do you think patterns are more often inherited or self-created? Patterns.
Me personally, that's a good question. It's definitely what you said it was, not inherited, but
Self-created.
Or self-created. Yeah, I believe it's taught to you though, more or less than, you know what I'm saying? Once you accept and understand it, then it's self-created because you got the education to change it. You know what I'm saying? I believe because you can change a habit. Mm-hmm. So I think it's self-created.
Okay. Now, I want y'all to know how we got on this episode. Is that I was watching a documentary about bees. The latest documentary on
bees.
Disney about bees. They're very important to our ecosystem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they are routine. When I go back to the quote, life is a repeating process. And every pattern we live out is tied to the way we think. See, them bees, I was watching how they was developed from birth to death. How they select that queen bee, how they had them scouts, how they have the males, how he has his role. And it's just a repeated process. And it has thinking attached to it. Okay? Now, this is what they do naturally, right? Okay? So then I watched in this documentary how they took them out their natural environment, put them in this plastic tube, plastic container, and had these obstacle courses. Yes. Obstacle courses for the bees.
I get it.
Okay? And on this one obstacle course, to get to the nectar, it's a 2-step process. Now we're getting into the intelligence of the bees. Okay? In one process, you come to, it's like a cross. It's like this. The nectar is up under here. But you have to push this forward first, and then you have to go around or walk around the wheel, and the wheel pushes forward, and you move another, and then you get the nectar. So you're watching this bee do these steps. This is the science of intelligence. Okay? But he's not the only bee in there. He's the only bee that's learning how to do it physically. All the other bees is watching. But watching him, guess what?
He made it.
They learn how to do it.
They learned how to do it. And they went one after another, went over there with no problem. Hit that nectar a lot faster than he did. And it was just a repeated process. So it began for me to think about in the human form how we have thinking attached to our life about how we're supposed to survive in the ecosystem, but our thinking, our intelligence takes us to a whole nother level.
I feel like that would take you to another level if you decide to do it. You know what I mean? Because they say people who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. So you can, learn. And let me go back to the original question. My thought was it's 50-50. You can inherit learning and you can self-center it as well. Because, we watch our first model of our parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles. We watch that first. That's how we learn. Actually, that's how, shorties begin to talk because they hear the sounds coming out of, they can't really enunciate words first. They learn, through hearing first. So that our whole lives are our first examples. So we're going to follow that first.
Right.
Now, it could be a negative thing because if they're not on the right path and we're following something that's going to take us off the track, and then that's what I was saying. Then you have to learn as the bees, okay, I'm seeing this is not going to get me anywhere. Now, let me blaze my own path.
They learn to adapt.
You see what I'm saying? So, and the same thing with the bees because somebody had to have, first of all, like you said, the intelligence or the courage to blaze their own path. But after they see that work, everybody going to follow suit. Mm-hmm. Like they say, monkey see, monkey do type thing. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I said what I had to say. I don't know. I kind of lost my thought. But what I was saying was, initially we can learn or we said adapt, but inherit, learn behavior, and sometimes that behavior is not good, and we'll follow that suit. We could be a product of our environment. I feel like I'm a product of my environment. Gotcha. 2-parent household, Christian foundation, and I've achieved so much. But it was because what I was given. And that's one of the things that's going on with the world now with the DEI, like diversity, equity, inclusion. A lot of people are not given that initial start. Some people start with way less. Mm-hmm. And so I remember when I was a little child, my dad had a plastic piggy bank, and it said college fund on it. You understand what I'm saying? My father's college educated, mother college educated. Ever since I was short, I knew I was going to college.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But every African-American household is not like that.
Mm-hmm.
This was already instilled in me to where I even know what college was. It said college fund.
Right.
Now, I have a sister under me. When I graduated high school, the year right after. Then my people had the paper for college for both, kids coming out. No, but God made a way. You know what I'm saying? But my point was I knew that's how I was going. So I'm a product of my environment, because of what I've been able to achieve, because of the foundation I was given. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I was saying as far as people inheriting learned behavior or blazing your own path. Because I used to work at Lincoln University up the street, and I see different people come from, first generation college students or, don't have the economic background or whatever. And people do different things. And there was one brother from New York, and I asked him, I'm like, bro, why are you so motivated to do what you're doing? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, he was just saying, everything he's seen, everything he experienced at that point, fuel him to do more and better. You understand? And we had people that was giving far more, and they just going through the motions. They could care less. You understand?
Right.
Because of, so it's different motivations.
Right.
But that individual decided, I want better, I want more. I don't want what was given to me. And we know that you only gonna get out what you put in. So you have to have the courage to blaze your own path, or have the discipline enough to go. You know what I'm saying? Get it.
Right.
Get it out the
Right.
mud. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Figure it
Right.
out. You know what I mean? Because
Right.
you're gonna have some ins and outs, some ups and downs. But I was listening to an old head on the internet the other day. He was saying how we don't lose, we learn. So we can go through things, but if you can learn out of that, that's a win. So we experience so much, but some people will experience the same things and stay low. Oh, this is all it's gonna be. It's all I'm gonna have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you might have two people from the same household experience the same, but they go in two different routes. But they had the same environment. I look at stuff like that.
But you're supposed to, man. That's analyzing the dynamics.
Well, I'm saying you have two people experience the same things, but have different things. You might have, you know, I was blessed to have a good father and a mother, but my father gave all credit to my father. But you have two people experience that. I don't have a daddy, and they go and repeat that cycle, and you got another young man be like, I want to be different than what my father gave me, and I'm gonna go do this. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But y'all had the same foundation.
Right.
So what fuels, you know, that self-centered, I'm gonna go do better.
The perception? Would you say the perception is what fuels?
The choice.
The choice, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
You can have the same perception, meaning me and you could be watching a TV show, and we know what the show about. We on the same page, but we still might go off and explain that TV show two different ways. Even though I know what you saying, like you could tell me in your way, and I know exactly what's going on. But if we was talking to two different people, they wouldn't know we watched that TV show at the same time.
Huh. Okay.
But you have that though. It's called Vantage Point. There's a movie like that. Like say a certain thing happened, like a car blew up.
People are wired different though, so you can have that. Well, I don't mean to cut you out, but you can have that in that household. Like, not gonna lie, like prime example. You know what I'm saying? I come from a rural type environment where it's rough. You feel me? So, but my sister, we grew up same everything, but she always was like, she listened to country music. She only dated white boys and Mexicans. I'm talking about her people stay up the block from my people. We grew up in the same exact environment, but she just chose to do something different.
So let me ask this question. When you look at your own life, did you find yourself repeating things you were taught without realizing it?
I definitely did.
Yeah. That goes, I mean, that's how it works. You can't realize something if it's not constantly happening. If something happened once, you might be aware of it and notice it, but if you realizing it, that means this and came around once, twice, 3, 4, 10, hold on. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta have repeated steps. You know what I'm saying? It gotta keep happening in order for you to even want to change.
I think that I agree with you on what we're handed. I agree with you what we hear, how we're developed. So I agree that we are inherit what we are handed with no question. Now, why is it that we as individuals hold on to the negative or the hurt or the thing that caused harm and not adapt.
Well, it's like what Sticks was saying. It's a choice. You know, we decide. Okay, like say for example, I say I'm a product of my environment, and some people can come from a different thing and be like, "Oh, this is all it's going to be. It's all we all going to have," and they just accept it. They don't have the courage to make that decision to change. It's a choice.
So what would you tell? What would you tell a viewer that's going through that right now? 'Cause that's what we're talking about.
Well, I'll say this. They say
Good
the man.
choice.
They say the man that said he can, and the man that said he can't are both right. You feel me? So it's like you can have what you say. This is 2026, so life is what you make it. You know, you can, tap into resources and support. You can get the information. We're in the information age. We got little computers on our hips at all
No
times.
more gatekeep.
You know what I'm saying?
Keep it away.
And so it's like, you think about, our foundation, we're a couple months away from Juneteenth. Our forefathers came before us. Everything they were able to achieve with much, much less. You understand? And we have access to information. We have
That's
access
right.
to
That's right.
support, resources
That's
right
right.
now.
You hear
know
that?
what I mean? And so it's, again, going back. If you say you can, you can do it. If you say you can't, you're gonna have that too. So is it going to Sticks say I'm gonna keep going back to my man, but it is a decision. It is a decision. So if you want better, you do better. I mean, you go get better. You know what I'm saying? But now that's the question throwing back at you. You want better, but they say people who don't know better. I mean, when you know better, you do better. But if you don't know,
You
how
got to relearn.
How
you,
can
you have
yeah,
to go and
yeah,
relearn.
but how can you do better if you don't know? So you have to go find the support, find the information, tap it into the phone, talk to Siri, talk to ChatBT, whatever it is, But we are in the information age, so it's no ignorance. It's not a excuse.
It's
no
not
more.
allowed.
It's not excuse no more.
It's not allowed.
It's too much information. It's too much information, and something similar to this building. The bridge is too much support and people willing to assist. So you can't say I don't have or I can't
Exactly.
because you just have to connect with the people.
And
go
stop
get it.
being afraid. But I believe it's two things that keep people from realizing what we saying, and that's one is greed and overwhelming. Is because once you out front, it's never gonna be as good as you pictured it in the beginning. You're never gonna have all the money you was talking
Amen.
about because you gotta support people. You got a business to run. You got whatever got you here. It's gonna cost for you to stay here. You feel me? So you gonna get a little further ahead. Some people get scared and you get discouraged easy when you gotta realize you gotta get comfortable in this type of cycle because growth gonna happen regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Woo!
But you gotta get comfortable.
But
in,
Sticks, what you said is gonna cost you something.
yeah, it's gonna cost you.
And you
something.
gotta pay how you weigh. You know what I'm saying? And but most people, like he said, are not willing to pay the cost to be the boss.
Right.
They just want their handout. Make me.
And
Give
someone
me.
Like
They
you
want
said,
that. They
don't
want that
understand.
instant gratification. Hey, man. I believe in the higher power. I know I could not be nowhere in my life without the higher power in my life, and I listen to the Bible time to time, and that's my way of reading the Bible. I listen.
Sure.
I'm a visual learner, and hear
Audible.
Audible. You see what I'm saying? And I've been listening to First and Second Kings, and it's not my first time listening to it or reading it. But what I got out of First and Second Kings, first of all, is over 400 years of people's lives and history right there between them First and Second Kings. All right, and they had over 40 kings between this time. Okay, before the kingdoms were split and after. Okay, and out of those 40 kings, only 8 of them
We're righteous.
were righteous. 400 years. So what came to my conclusion is that
Well, can I ask you a question though?
Go right ahead.
Out of 400, how many out of the 400 years, or do you know, were ruled by those 8 out of the 420, 40?
Oh, the years?
Yeah.
Oh, it was small because
That's what I'm saying. Out of
yeah,
400,
yeah,
like maybe
yeah,
40,
yeah.
30,
Like,
20,
how long
maybe.
did it rain? Was it
I-
We
long?
get 100.
I can get back. I will get you that.
I'm curious. I'm curious.
I will get you that answer.
Yeah.
I don't have that because I didn't go that deep.
No, I'm
but,
saying.
But I would get that answer because I can get that answer.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
No, for
I
real.
can add their total years up.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah,
At 400, that's a lot.
yeah,
If you only had
yeah.
8
Yeah.
out of 40 kings and only 8 was righteous,
Hmm.
so that means you only had 20%
Of example. Other
of
than
righteous leadership.
that, and the rest taught you to intrigue the flesh. They was.
But what we say at the beginning of the conversation, this you're product of your environment.
You're a product.
So you just so that set the
Do what
tone
you
for
know.
it. Yeah.
Now, what simplified for me was there's no greater sin than disobedience. And everybody overlooked that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no greater sin than disobedience.
Flat out.
And everybody overlooked that. If you become obedient in your workplace, if you become obedient in your house, if you become obedient with your job, if you become obedient, whatever you got going on in your life, you will become successful. Huh. There's no greater sin than disobedience.
You know, I don't know if it guarantees success, but I do agree because we talked about this earlier before the mics came on. It's relative to the person. Like your success, what I consider success don't have to be what you consider success.
That's
you know
correct.
What I'm saying?
That's correct.
So I don't know, man. You know, if obedience just gonna make you successful, it might make you, you know what I'm saying, a little more, but I don't know about that.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I can agree with that. What's your thoughts?
It depends on what you're obedient to. Now, like you say, if it's
Yeah.
your own, then I'm pretty sure you should be successful. Because if you're obedient, then you understand what's going on, and life gonna teach you whether you want to learn or not. And if you're obedient, you're gonna learn, because you're gonna keep doing what you gotta do, and you're just gonna get shown to you throughout your work. Like, look, just chill, you gotta do this, you know what I'm saying? You either gonna comply with, if you don't comply, then what? That's the same thing with you saying. You ain't obedient, it's gonna fall apart.
That's why I said that disobedience, man,
Greatest sin.
that made it simple.
No, it makes sense.
It made it simple. All right, let's go to this next question, y'all. Can someone really change their legacy without first confronting their family patterns?
You say,
Let me read that again.
yeah, hold on, give me, yeah. My
Since
fault.
you multitask.
Yeah, my fault. I got your back. What we doing?
Can someone really change their legacy without first confronting family patterns?
I think that it depends on, you know, what you're trying to achieve. You know what I'm saying? So say, for example, and then we delved on, you know, product of environments that if you're from a negative background, 9 times out of 10, if you don't shift that, you're going to be a product of that and have those type of characteristics of negativity. But if you're from a positive background, it's really, per se, I mean, quote unquote, no need to change because you're coming from a structured environment, or you're obedient to everything you learn, you're going to be successful. But I would say this, because I have that type of family on both sides. They are characteristics within my bloodline that aren't good, even though we're from a structured and a sound family. You know, if I'm making sense.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll have to make a decision I'm not going to fall into this family trait because I've seen what it produces. So now I'll have to shift and learn something different or make my pivot from that just because it is part of my, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
bloodline
Right.
or our family, because everything is not positive even though we're from there. Like we're foundation
It's grounded.
foundation
Exactly.
is in
Exactly.
faith and love, but there's some negative things that are just comes automatically because it's in our blood.
It's attached to it's attached.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So we'll have to we'll have to change and shift that, but we have to again. You'll have to have the courage to be that driving force to blaze a new path.
See, I like how you broke that down. How you could come from that complete package, but you still got some dirt there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, every family man.
Exactly.
We're human.
That's
you know what I'm
being
saying?
honest.
Yeah,
That's being
you know
raw.
what I'm saying? Come on.
But instead of holding on to that, oh no, you got to go ahead and adapt. You got to go ahead and kill that. You got to.
Yes,
Because once you learn better, you got to do
that's a fact.
better. Because if you don't, will you be judged?
Yeah. Cause ignorance is bliss. If you don't know, then that's one thing. But if you know, that's the counterpart of awareness, responsibility. The moment that you come into awareness of it, you are responsible for doing something or doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, something that I had realized is that our physical bodies, regardless if our mental keep up or not, grow or not, this body is going to age regardless. It's going to do its job.
I put on the internet yesterday. Father Time is undefeated. Come on now.
So
You're not gonna beat it.
So we have to keep up, don't we? It's our duty and responsibility to adapt and keep up.
Yes.
What'd you say?
Or build our body into. Like I got a cousin, right? He was 300 pounds maybe 4 years ago, but now he's in the gym. Now he's doing this meal preps.
Mm-hmm.
He's a chef too, but you know what I mean. But he's telling people like, but he made this decision. I want better for myself,
Conscious decision.
We're going to almost our 50s and 40s, and our body, as you were just saying, I'm getting up out the car now. Feeling knees cracking, feeling this and that, but I'm not moving my joints. I'm not working out, you know what I mean? So it's important to, invest into our physical health because we're chasing the monetary value, but you could be sick as a dog. If you got all the paper, that's not going to fix it. Health is wealth. You know what I mean?
I read a quote about a billionaire, a young billionaire just died, and he had basically said having all this money did nothing for me.
I was just saying. Just like that was how.
That's basically what the story
That's
said.
what I was just saying. But that's how. What's the dude that did the iPhones?
Steve Jobs.
Jobs. He was sick. This man he built the whole. See what I'm saying? That money couldn't help him.
That's correct. So, Sticks, do you think it's possible to build something new while refusing to face what you came from before?
Yeah, you can build something new. You sustainable, I don't know, but
Right.
you can build something new.
I was on the same type time.
You know what I'm saying?
It ain't gonna hold though, huh?
Because I always tell people, bro, you can, no matter how far you run from your past, it's tend to catch up with you when you slow down. Feel me? So it's gonna come back. So you might as well deal with what you gotta deal with because it's a karmic law. Put something out there, something coming back.
What goes around comes
You know what I'm
around.
saying?
However you look at it.
However, you feel me? So therefore, you gotta handle that, whether, you know what I'm saying, whatever karma come back, however it gotta be handled, everything should be tied off of you planning on starting something new that you planning on running with, unless you plan on incorporating the two at some point.
It's a danger in repressing because it's gonna come out somehow.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? So that's what I was on the type of time when he said. I was thinking the same thing. Like, yeah, we can build and make and establish anything, but if we don't fix, what's broken, that it's gonna come out somehow.
Did y'all hear what he said? Did y'all catch that? He said it's danger and repression. Woo! I hope you caught that. Huh? You wonder why you crashing. You wonder why. Because it's danger in repression. It's danger in not speaking your mind. It's danger in not letting it out. All right, y'all, let's get to this next question. Is mindset work sometimes overused as a phrase when the real issue is upheld in pain?
What you say? Do that one more time, son?
Is mindset work sometimes overused as a phrase when the real issue is unhealed pain?
No. It always starts in the mind. Always. It's that's your pinnacle. Most people don't even realize. Your mind is not a part of your body in no shape, form, other than it's there. Your body is a part of your mind. Who's ever seen the mind? No more than you've seen the spirit. Your mind comes first.
Yeah, I don't think it could be overused because it's mind over matter. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So it's always going to be, as Sticks was saying, a part of anything you do. And as I said before, the man said he right, the man said he can, and the man said he can't are both right.
Get both.
You know what I'm saying? So
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
that's whatever you decide. So it's like, even with the negative, you know what I mean? So I don't think we can overuse the mind thing because, as Sticks was saying, no one's ever seen it. And we don't even know our own capabilities. I was seeing or hearing over the years, like similar to our phones, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm only on certain apps on my phone. I do this, I call, I do this and this and that, but we don't know the 100%
The whole
power.
capacity
Of what
of
this
And they
one
saying
phone can do.
that's how it is with our mind too. People can really move things and
Right.
heal
Yeah, it
themselves,
is.
and no
Right.
one really taps into the power of the mind. I'm talking about the capacity and ability to really 100%. You see what I'm saying?
But when they do, we
When they
society tell, because people
Has anybody ever?
I believe several people have made several attempts to tap into the full potential of their mind. It's just that when they begin to do that, we give the perception of that they're going crazy or they're going mad
Exactly.
or you
And
see what I'm saying?
That's what I was
and
finna say.
that type of stigma going up
Because you have to understand, if we diving into realms unknown, you know what I'm saying? You got to first be able to mentally perceive this and accept it for what it is. If not, you gonna turn it into something else, and then that's what reality gonna copy. So therefore, it's like, if I want to say that's a plastic 3-legged chair, you feel me? Unless I came second and reality was first, which is what it was, but who's to say that's not a 3-legged chair? It's a tripod. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It starts in the mind, and then once you get other minds incorporated, whoever stronger wins. But that's how you shape reality in a nutshell.
See that subject matter right there, y'all, is a whole other episode.
I was finna say, man.
Hey,
can I mention that?
Go.
Hey, look, I went to a small liberal arts college, right? And so we had to do all kinds of readings. You know what I mean? So what you just said was what this term called is la tabla rasa, and it's like one of the philosophers, one of the Greek philosophers, blank slate. Are we born with a blank slate? Or are we born already
predestined.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what you were saying, man. You know what I mean? It's a term called la tabla rasa, a blank slate.
Now, go back to them bees. Go to that process for them bees. See how all this is tying in?
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's a process. It's a way of life.
It's nature.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's nature.
And where we struggle at, we have a thinking process that's consumed with a lot of the wrong things.
But why though? It's society.
Because
it's been forced on you.
It's been
because
handed down.
When you control what a person consumes, you know what I'm saying? Look, they're sure to you.
You know what's tripping me out? Like a couple weeks ago, I was reading or listening to this lady read something from the Rothschild. I might be mistaken, but I'm gonna get and it was basically saying how, and this is I'm gonna have to send it to you because you got the IG. It was like from 18 something, right?
Right.
And I'm talking about so intricate and structured and intentional. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do this.
Yes.
In my mind, now, like I said earlier, it's 2026, so we got that.
And that was in 1800.
So I'm saying
it unfold?
Right now, today. What my man say? Right now, today. But my point is this. Like, I can't wait to send it to you. Hey, yo. They had to write it. I'm saying we could write and speak and then ChatGPT, but I'm saying somebody really had to, with the calligraphy pen. You know what I mean? Wasn't no typewriters.
Right.
And so,
you hear me?
like, this is
if
what
it was, only the rich could afford it.
Yeah, he was rich for sure. But
yeah.
But I don't think even then they had typewriters. This is the calligraphy pen, like 18 something,
right,
bro.
Yeah.
But he was just saying how we're gonna do this, we're gonna feed them, we're gonna make them believe, we're gonna just how we have the intentional, racism, all that. Now it's still today. That's how strong those. But they were thinking this back then.
But you know why? Because back then, it wasn't so many obstacles in your way to distract you.
So, but
back
see,
then,
but
no, man.
That's why we got to
let me
go ahead.
Further expand on it, right? Imagine if we don't have all these big buildings, lands, cars, TVs, and none of that.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna start to pay attention to what people doing and what's really going on, and you're gonna start to see and connect the dots and be like, so. What you do is those that are in power, they, like you say, if you don't pay attention to history, you're doing to repeat it. They probably saw a loss and saw how they people was getting did and say, hold on. When they got in power, well, we got to put some stuff in place to change this. Now you get corporations and now you get all this paperwork because that's what you're dealing with. You're not dealing with me no more. You can't get close to me or my family. I got layers to this. Dealing with paperwork now.
Now I know you got this on YouTube. You got certain things we can't play, certain things you can't listen, or can you or not?
Yeah, he'll be able to when Woke go ahead.
I found it. I could play a little bit of it.
You can send it to Woke and Woke will pop. He'll pop it in there.
Just so you can hear it like the.
You can put it to the mic.
All right. I just need y'all to hear what I was talking about, and it was
Rockefeller. To hear, let them hear. This is the Masonic Creed by John D. Rockefeller, written in 1880. It's the secret covenant, the empire of illusion. An illusion, it will be so large, so vast, it will escape their perception. Those who will see it will be thought of as insane. We will create separate fronts to prevent them from seeing the connection between us. We will behave as if we are not connected to keep the illusion alive. Our goal will be accomplished one drop at a time so as never to bring suspicion upon ourselves. This will also prevent them from seeing the changes as they occur. We will always stand above the relative field of their experience, for we know the secrets of the absolute. absolute. We will work together always and will remain bound by blood and secrecy. Death will come to he who speaks. We will keep their lifespan short and their minds weak while pretending to do the opposite. We will use our knowledge of science and technology in subtle ways so they will never see what is happening. We will use soft metals, aging accelerators, and sedatives in food and water, also in the air. They will be blanketed by poisons everywhere they turn. The soft metals will cause them to lose their minds. We will promise to find a cure from our many fronts. Yet we will.
I'm gonna send the whole thing to y'all, but y'all see how that is right there? 1880.
Right.
This is, they talking about keeping the African American here. You know what I mean? This was intentional. And you heard the wordplay, the structure. They had to write this out. But first had to be in their heart, and then they saying, whoever speaks on this is about to die. This is our secret. We're going to do this this is how we're going to stay elevated and keep them, you feel me? And I just thought that was so wild. And it's still happening right now.
Well, when you go into digging into our history and the structure of our government, and you read the 14th Amendment, you read the 15th Amendment, you see what we have been fighting about. You go to that 18th and 19th Amendment, or just read the Constitution. You know, even in that time, in the 1800s, you had black people in Congress. You had black people in government.
Oh, my fault.
So,
I sent it to you. My fault.
you know, you got to go and do your history, because it is a system out here.
Right, systematic.
You see what I'm saying? And I didn't relearn or re-educate myself till I was 38. And I need you to get it sooner than that. And learn and know who you is.
Or your capabilities. Even if you don't know who you are, you can tap into who you can be. And as we're starting on the same conversation, you could restructure who you think you are right now. You don't have to be that person, especially if you're not happy with who you are. You can become better. It doesn't have to be all the way to the Congress, or you could just be a better person. You could be a better father, better brother, better sister. But you have to want that for yourself. You don't have to stay in that second-rate individual.
Not right now. Not today. Not today. What you got, Sticks?
You know, same as usual. Keep it pushing.
Tell us about that brand right there. Tell us about that brother right there.
Who this?
Yes, sir.
The shirt?
Yes, sir.
Goddess Behavior Clothing Brand. Shout out to my homie, KPC No Sleep, 5'9". It's a small black-owned clothing brand that I've been wearing for like 5 years now. Good quality, good style. You know what I'm saying? I advise people to check it out, see what's going on with it. It's good service. It's just all around good behavior, goddess behavior, man. If you got it in you, why not have it on you?
If you got it in you, why not have it on you? All right, y'all, let's move to another and final question in today's episode. Thank you for joining us, y'all. Stay tuned and look for more of this, y'all, because we got good chemistry going on, good conversation piece, man. So let me go. Let's go with this, Mr. Hall. What's more dangerous? Negative thinking you recognize, or destructive thinking that feels normal?
Negative thinking that's recognized, or destructive thinking that
Feels normal.
I would say the second destructive feeling that feels normal, because I think if you would recognize negative thinking, you didn't say you had to continue on those thoughts. You can cast that thought down. So I would say the negative thinking that feels normal, because you only know what you know. So if all you know is negative thinking, you don't even understand how destructive you being to yourself.
It's destructive.
Yes.
Yes.
Because you can have the negative thinking, but if you can recognize it, oh, I don't need to do that. How many times, Kanye got this song right? Sometimes he say, at one of the songs, he was like, sometimes I think about killing myself. Right? Mm-hmm. But, so I'll kill you, because I think about killing myself.
Right. Right.
My point in saying that is that we can have negative thoughts, we can recognize the negative thoughts, but we don't have to act on those thoughts.
Right.
But if we are allowing the negative to be destructive, that's going to be the one that's bad. Because I'm not perfect. I have negative thoughts, but I don't have to act on them. But if we're acting on them and we see.
But I think what he's saying is you acting with these thoughts, right?
Well, it's too.
Nah, he said negative thinking. What's worse, identifying negative thinking or
destructive thinking that feels normal.
That feels normal. So I'm saying the second one is worse because you don't know. You don't have an idea because this is something that going back to the bees, this is something I've inherited to think is normal. I don't know that I'm killing myself. I don't know that I'm recreating the wheel for my generations behind me. So the second one to me, you know what I'm saying, is worse because I can identify a negative thought and pull it down if I have the discipline to or whatever. But if you don't know, yeah, that's worse, man.
Let me hear the question again.
Boom. What's more dangerous? Negative thinking you recognize or destructive thinking that feels normal?
What's more dangerous? You know what? You know me, I always try to be the devil's advocate, so. But I was thinking about. I agree with you. It's the lesser form, but now it got me thinking like, because if I recognize negative thinking, now I got the ability to manipulate it.
All the time. But I'm saying like,
Other than you know what I'm saying.
What I'm saying is like, it could be. I'm saying cast it down, but it's some people who know.
You know what I'm saying? Now the rabbit got the gun, boy. I can make this. You feel me? So, and then when you say more dangerous, is it more dangerous to myself or more dangerous in general? You know what I'm saying? Because now if I got something I can swing two ways as opposed to something just hitting me, I think that's more dangerous in general. But if more dangerous to me would be being in a situation and not knowing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the only one in the dark.
There we go.
As opposed to we all in the dark and we know it.
That's another caveat to that because I was saying have a negative thought, cast it down, but there's some people who have the negative thoughts and move on that. And act
because
on that.
I've seen empires are built off of negative thoughts.
Facts.
Watch this.
Even the youth right now, like I work with the youth here in town. And I know you got some knuckleheads and some people but they know they doing wrong, but they bought into that thinking. This is how I'm living, this is how I'm moving.
Yeah, and they know that they not really like that.
Right. Both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both right.
But that's what I was saying.
You both right.
But that's what I was saying. Thinking of taking that to another thing is like some people just accept. Hey, you guys remember Belly? Mm-hmm. You know when Keisha was walking with T-Bye.
Oh yeah.
And she say, Tommy, he just a no good. He just, that you got some people in life that just don't want nothing out of life.
Right.
That's just how he's gonna be. That's just how Buns is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she trying to tell Keisha like, you just probably gonna have to chalk that up because he's not gonna change.
Exactly.
And Buns, in his mind, was on demon time. He wasn't. He just gotta get the paper and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? So again, going back to like you were saying, the people who think like that and don't cast down those thoughts is destructive because you already know what's the end. Sometimes I'll be on YouTube and I'll be watching the young people or anybody get caught up with something crazy and they get sentenced, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'd be thinking like, but you already knew you was in the wrong from the gate and now you have to deal with this consequence. So you bring it on yourself that way because you moving like that, you know the consequences that come with that, but I'm still gonna do it anyway. So
But
that
the
could be
thing
that
with
could be
that
just
be-
that could be just as destructive.
Yeah, but the thing with that, a lot of the times it be either, like you say, I'm on that, or a person just don't believe that
They gonna
there's
get
something
caught.
else out there worth putting the work in
But
for.
but this is the thing, and see, we have experience. When you putting that demonstration down out there like that, it's a cause and effect, and it's never full.
That's a fact.
It's either jail or coffin. You see, it's a cause and effect. So here, we're reaching to help you
Avoid.
and change that pattern. That's what this conversation is about. That you can go
Shift.
from the dark side to the light, just like that light switch. You see what I'm saying? We don't want you to be bought in and settle for what you don't have.
I will say this, not to cut you up, but I will say it's not that quickly. For some people it is, but other people really gonna have to work
Right.
to that. Sometimes it's a shift like that, but you're gonna have to just decide I'm gonna go this path and work and see it. Because some people just want that. You talked about immediate gratification earlier, and that's all society is right now.
Right.
If
right.
I'm not gonna get it right now, I don't want it. You
Right.
know what I mean?
But see, and I'm happy that you highlighted that. I'm talking about eternal. When I'm talking about that light switch, because you can change your thinking just like that. You see what I'm saying? And it vibrates. It works from the inside out. It's just like when a baby, a seed, you see develop. You can't even see development going on to 5 or 6 months. You see what I'm saying? But your thinking, just like that. The rest you can work out because it's the process.
But you gotta be committed to the process. That's what I'm saying.
You have to be.
Just as quickly they shifted to think positively,
Yeah.
they can start thinking negatively again. So
And-
but they have to
exactly.
be committed. That's
Gotta
what I was
be
getting
committed.
to.
Exactly.
Don't understand like it's not gonna be immediate.
That's right.
You're going to have to put some pain in. You're gonna have to
That's
deposit.
right.
Nipsey say, I don't worry about credit. I pay my dues.
That's it.
You're gonna have to pay your dues to shift your future, your trajectory. It's gonna cost you something. You feel me?
I got you. So on that note, man, give something to the people before we exit.
Hey, the key to love is understanding. You know what I mean? And we have to have the ability, to understand ourselves, going back to the conversation, ourselves and everything around us. And more understanding is going to come from learning information and just being an open, heart to know something different or accept something different that you already know.
What you got, Sticks?
Yo, choices, man. Be firm in your choice and understand your choice, because once you make a choice, you create a karmic effect. And in my mind, you can't get done with that or move on to the next choice until you've, fully dealt with that effect full circle. So be mindful of the choices you make. And also, man, it was something I was told in school that it didn't dawn on me. Like, you first get to high school, what they tell you? It's going to affect you for the next 20 years. What you do now would affect you for the next 20 years, bro. And I was 28 when I looked up and said, you know what? Man, I don't want to be like that no more. So,
I was 26 when I started working on myself, but I didn't get to the point of consistency and hook in until I was 38. And I was put in a painful situation. It cost me something. You are correct about that. All right, y'all. In closing, what stands out in this conversation is that patterns do not stay alive by accident. They stay alive because they're reinforced by thought, by pain, by environment, by loyalty, by fear, and by familiarity. And if that's true, then change has to be deeper than performance. It has to be deeper than language. It has to reach belief. It has to reach identity. It has to reach what we have accepted as normal. Because legacy is being shaped every day. Not someday, right now. And how we respond, and what we excuse, and what we heal, and what we pass down without questioning. So maybe The real work is not just asking, what do I want to leave behind? Maybe the deeper question is, what in me keeps repeating? And what does it cost if I never change it? To both of you, thank you for going there today. This wasn't about polished answers. This was about truth. And I think that's what makes the conversation like this matter. So my affirmation, I no longer blind to the patterns that have shaped me. I have the courage to name what is unhealthy, the strength to confront what is familiar, and the wisdom to change what no longer belongs in my life. I will not pass down pain disguised as normal. I will not protect cycles that cost me peace, growth, or truth. My healing is intentional. My thinking is transforming. My choices are creating a new legacy. What stops with me makes room for something better after me. Peace out from your boy, Doug Wright, a.k.a. DW3. Thank y'all, man. What do you think?